Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to create product render. So we're gonna model this cool iPod and create a product render with it. So first of all, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and like this video, and let's begin. So the first what we need to do is add our reference image. So add your image and change location to 0 and rotation to 0. Let's begin modeling. So add a cube and go to top view, go to wireframe mode and scale it down. Now go to edit mode and change this so it matched our reference image. Now select all and scale it down. Something like that will be good. Now what we need to do, select these edges and Ctrl B, and as you see it's overlapping, so click here, clamp overlap, and change segments to about 4. Now press A, M and merge words by distance, and it removed here our words additional. Go again to top view and add here loop cut. Move it to the top of our display and add another one. Go to solid mode and here select this face. Go again to top view and wireframe mode. Now extrude it a little bit. And what we need to do here, select these edges so we can bevel them. Go to top view again, wireframe mode, and Ctrl B to bevel. So you see we made our screen. Now go to solid mode and select this one. Go again to top view and press I to insert it. Now extrude it down and press P and selection. So this is separate object now. Press Ctrl A and apply all transforms and set origin to geometry. Now Shift D and Z and move it here. This will be our glass and previous will be our screen. Here I want to select this and move it a little bit up and shade after smooth. Now what we're gonna do here, go to edit mode, face selection and select this one and this one, but before that apply all transforms and set origin to geometry so it would work properly. Insert it and press Alt E and extrude faces along normals. So we have something like this. Now let's go and create these buttons. For that we will add a cylinder and scale it down. Move it here. And shade after smooth. Now go select this object and go to modifier and add a boolean modifier. Move it a little bit down, something like that. And here select this cylinder and apply. Move it up and Shift D to duplicate and hide it for now. We're gonna create this center, so scale it down, go to solid mode, and now here select vertex and enable it so we can snap easily our objects. So snap it to here and now select top face and snap it here. and as you see, it's not flat, so we're gonna recreate it. Now apply all transforms and set origin to geometry, and Control 1 to add a subdivision surface. And let's insert this face and move it down a little bit. Add here loop cuts, here loop cut, and here, and add another one here in the center and move it down a little bit, so it is now not flat. So now you can unhide all and select this cylinder, go to top view and wireframe mode, and select these faces. Make sure that you selected the top one and bottom one, and insert it so it matches our cylinder. And now you can bridge faces, and it will create here this. So move it down, snap it to the bottom of our hole, and now select this and snap it here, and set origin to geometry. And so now we will do the same here, so add a subdivision surface and add here loop cuts. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add here loop cut and move it down a little bit so it's not flat. Now let's add here for charging and for headphones. So Shift A, add a cylinder and rotate it by x-axis by 90 degrees. Go to Y, go to wireframe mode and scale it down to something like this. Move it here and scale it up by y-axis. Go to solid mode, and something like this will be good. And now again select this one and add a boolean modifier, and as object select our new cylinder and apply it. You can now delete this cylinder and do the same for charging port. So here scale it down, move it up a little bit and scale it up by x-axis, and do the same, so scale it up, move it to something like here and add a boolean modifier. So now apply it and delete this cube. So our object is ready, so we can now move to creating materials and textures. I'll be using Blender Kit add-on, so install it. Let's add here our metal texture, so search for metal, and I think this one will be good. Here I'm gonna add a glass, so add a glass. Here select with this selected, Control L and link materials. You can now go to render settings and change EV to cycles and CPU to GPU. And here you can add some HDRI so you can preview what we are getting. So add an HDRI and go to render preview. We have our glass, so let's add our screen. Select this bottom plane and go to material, add new, and here change to mission. And now what we need to do, go to shader editor, and I already found on the internet our screen from iPod, so I'll add it here. So Shift A, image texture, and open your texture and color to color. And now go to edit mode, select all, U, and unwrap conformal. Now go to UV editing rotate it by 90 degrees. And now just make sure that it fits this screen, something like this. Go back to layout, and now you see it's not what we wanted, so rotate it by 180. Go back to layout, and this is perfect. Here I want to add a rubber material, so select this one. Here add a new material, and go back to object mode, and in materials search for rubber, and this one will be great. Again, select this and assign it. So here we have rubber, but I see that we need to add it here also. Yeah, this will be great. Now we will use the same technique for this as we use for our screen. So add a new material. Here I will add our buttons icons. So again, image texture, and open your texture. I have this one, and base color. Now go to UV editing, and here I can also turn on render preview, so I'll see what I'm doing. Now here convert to mesh to apply our modifiers, and here select this one, and mark sim, and now select all these faces, UV and conform all, and now make sure that it match our image, so scale it down if needed, and our menu button must be at the center, so rotate it. Something like this, but you see here we're not matching, so scale it down, but I see that it must be rotated a little bit more, something like this. So go back to layout, and here you need to select these faces and this face, and add new material and assign it. So here we'll have our white color. So our iPod is ready, and now we can move to render. But before that I want to add an empty, but before that select this one, set origin to geometry, and Shift S to cursor to select it, so it will be in the center of our object. And now you can add an empty plane axis, and it's perfectly in the center. So select all and Control P, object keep transform. So now if I move empty, I'll move all object. Rotate it by x-axis by 90 degrees and add a plane. Rotate it by x-axis and move it here. Add an emission and scale it up. Now let's add our camera, so we see what's going on here. So Shift A, camera, and Control Alt 0. And I want to make render square to be it square. And here change it to what you like. I'll do something like this. So my object is here. I want to add another iPod, so move this here, rotate it a little bit by z-axis and rotate it by x-axis. Now select this one and with Control deselect this face and Shift D by x-axis and move it down a little bit, rotate it. So we have something like this. Now move camera so our object will be in the center. Now let's change colors of our iPod. I want it to be, select first metal material and add an RGB curves. So I want it to be like pink or something. Maybe more lighter. And here select this and click here to duplicate, so we could create different color for that one. I'll add RGB curves and maybe make it just lighter material, and here select this material. So now we can add more lighting to our scene. I like to add area and rotate it here and move it to something like that. Go back to camera view and duplicate it by x-axis, and from here I'd like to add another camera, another lighting. What we can do is that we can select these objects and make new group, new collection, and here in this lighting go to object and shading and select light linking and select our second collection, so it only affects this object and not this. And now we can play with our object. So here I'll select our main collection, so it will only affect our gray iPod, and duplicate this one. I want the light to be more on the bottoms, maybe from the top. Yeah, this one is great. You can also make the screen lighter by changing the strength of it. 2 will be great. You can also change the strength of background light, or you can even change the color. So now when you are satisfied with what you created, we can move to render settings, and here I only want to change this one to 0.05, max samples to 2000, and the noise I'll turn off. And now go to compositing and click use nodes and Shift A and add the noise. Just leave it as it is, and here go back to solid mode, and you can now press F12 to render. So our iPod render is ready. Subscribe to the channel and like this video, and see you next time.